The third last SPFL review show of the year. Welcome back to Fog Football. I say of the year, of the season. You know the drill, alright? But first off, we've got Scottish Championship playoffs, Scottish League One playoffs, and Scottish League Two playoffs. Technically, we could go far back as Friday when Ayr got knocked out by Partick Thistle. So I'll quickly wrap that up, even though I did talk about it. Was it Saturday morning I did? So again, kind of surprised that Partick just won 2-0, but we'll see what. Is Scott Brown going to leave there? He potentially could. Or Partick, they stand a chance against Livy? I think they do. But I think Livy are more than expected to beat Partick. But Partick are one of the informed teams in the Championship, so we'll see how it goes. But speaking of not being so much of an informed team in the Championship, Airdrie Unions against Stenhousemuir, 2-1 victory for Airdrie. 5-2 on aggregate. The damage was done in the first leg when they won 3-1 away from home. And you know what? Stenhousemuir keeping it relatively respectable. It just shows it just shows you though, it's like you can have a decent season and you meet a team from the league above and your season's over in 2 matches. And realistically, it was over when they lost 3-1 at home. So tragic for them. It really was. Right, Cove Rangers 2. Queen of the South 1. Obviously, the first game was 0-0, but I predicted Cove Rangers, and I was right with my prediction. Cove Rangers picking up the result here. No many complaints floating about. Then into the Scottish League One playoffs, Ann Athletic won against Elgin City, who got 2, and Ann Athletic still managed to advance, but at the same time, they lost this game. They did lose this game, but they're not really going to be that bothered about it. Are they? A very high scoring aggregate game. 9 goals scored across the board. That's what you like to see. But I did bet Ann Athletic, and this beat my bet. I did Airdrie, Cove Rangers, Annan, East Fife, and East Kilbride. The 5 home teams almost got it. Speaking of the 4th home team, East Fife 3-0 against Edinburgh City. Dick Campbell wasn't a very happy man when his team lost 1-0. He said he was sick of losing 1-0, so in the second leg, he decided to win 3-0 Edinburgh City. Bye-bye. So it's going to be Elgin City against East Fife. Ann Athletic against East Fife. I'm going to go with East Fife to get the job done there. That's what I think is going to happen. And then Scottish League 2 playoffs. We have got East Kilbride 3, Bonnyrigg Rose 1. I thought East Kilbride was printing money. I don't know. Bonnyrigg Rose are just rank rotten. So it looks like East Kilbride are going to advance into the Scottish League 2. I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, Bonnyrigg Rose could turn it around, but Bonnyrigg Rose looks like we might never see them again in the pyramid. We might not. But anyway, that is your playoffs wrapped up. Of course, more midweek and into next week and all that good stuff. Right. Into the Scottish Premiership. Of course, our 3 leagues are done, so it's simply just playoffs and the big boy league. So, Rangers 4, Aberdeen 0. What is there to say? Tale of 2 halves, really. First half was bogging, second half was good from Rangers. The bare minimum, in my opinion. It wasn't the most breathtaking football, but when you score 4 goals and your opponent score 0, I'm going to be relatively happy. But that attendance says 50,343. It was definitely closer to about 30,000. A lot of people not going to Ibrox. It sums up this group of players, man. It really does. No one really turning up, and I can't blame people for not turning up, man. This season has been one of the worst ever, and that's no word of a lie. There's just oh man, no way me I ain't going to try and spin it. It's just absolutely brutal. But I mean, pick of the bunch goal wise, Hamzi Gamani, just first time volley into the bottom left hand corner, man. What is there to say? Phenomenal. Right, into Saturday. So Celtic defeated Hibs 3-1. Nicholas Kuhn, Adam Ade and Rio Atati with the goals after Martin Boyle opened the scoring. Hibs, I mean, we did Hibs fans react yesterday. A lot of Hibs fans weren't happy. They said Davy Gray was playing not to lose instead of actually going for it. Well, playing not to lose, playing not to win. They didn't win. Celtic fought back with a decent victory. And Hibs. It left the door open for Aberdeen, but as we've already talked about, what did Aberdeen do, folks? Aberdeen did hee-haw. 58,972. It was a handball decision against Cadden, but didn't get overturned. It just didn't get given or anything. Didn't really change much in the game. Don't really know the handball the law. I'm trying to say rule and law at the same time. It didn't really work anymore. So we'll move on to Tannadice. The game that sunk my Premiership bet. I did this for a draw, and I don't even know why I did this for a draw because I fancied St Mirren. Anyway, 9,821 people saw the Buddies lay the smackdown to Dundee United, and that was exactly what happened. Miguel Mandaron and Ayunga with the goals, and you know what? An easy win for St Mirren, an easy win. We'll look at the league table in a minute, a bit more depth to discuss what that could mean for them, but just far from ideal, man. Far from ideal for Jim Goodwin. It looked like at one point in it, well, I'll say one point, it looked like when this split, match day 33 happened with St Mirren getting in over Hearts really late on. It looked like, well, St Mirren have got no chance. The top five are secure, and there's talk about Dundee United, finishing third potentially. That's out the window. And you know what? They won the day. You never know, but they lost yesterday. But so it's out the window for them. Moving on though to Hearts 3, Motherwell 0. Was a disallowed goal in there for Motherwell. I believe it was Callum Slattery who got it, but didn't stop Lawrence Shankland and Alan Forrest getting goals here, did it? No, Lawrence Shankland, tell you what, man, this guy, he's getting played in his position again, and the goals are flowing. I would like to see Shankland at Rangers, man, honestly. And people will be like, oh, why would you? Right, A, it's for free, right? B, he actually supports the club, which I think goes a long way. And he would be better than Danilo. He'd be better than Dessers, right? And you know what? I think that's smart business, honestly. Say we sold Dessers and Danilo, right? And we're not going to get the 11 million we spent for them a couple of seasons ago back, right? We just have to accept that. But say you brought in Shankland on a free, but you sold like those two for like a combined, like what? I don't know how much you're going to get, like 6 million or something, right? And you brought Shankland in on a free. That is great business. It is. I know people be like, oh, but you've lost it in 5, right? And I understand if you look at that bit argument of it. But that's what we need to do. We need to be actually selling people and bringing in decent players on frees. I feel like for too long, we're buying players and getting nothing back and then losing good players on frees. It's just, no. Or it's not even a case of good players. We're just losing too many players on frees. But anyway, great win for Hearts. Neil Critchley was shite, but I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Kelly 3, Dundee 2, Danny Armstrong got a goal. Lyle Cameron, future Rangers man, looking forward to seeing him playing the blue next season. Bruce Anderson and Big Robbie, na 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 na, with the goals there. We late worry late on for Kelly, but they got the job done, and Derek McKenzie looks like he's going to be on his way to Tynecastle. But yeah, Kelly are safe. Dundee, not so much. And speaking of safe, neither of these two teams are, especially not anymore. Ross County, they had a chance to really put some, to end St Johnson's dreams of the Great Escape, but St Johnson won 2-1. Daniels, Belodis and Elliot Watt with the goals. Alex Samuel managed to get one back as well. There was a red card extremely late on, which leaves the league table looking like this. So if we go down the bottom of the table, right, Dundee can still get relegated straight down. Ross County certainly can. St Johnson, they've gave themselves a fighting chance. They've actually got better goal difference than Ross County, so that is crucial. We move further up the table. I don't really care about Kelly, Motherwell and Hart, let's be honest. St Mirren, 2 points behind Dundee United. The same Dundee United that travel to Ibrox on Wednesday. Hibs and Aberdeen, that's interesting. Aberdeen obviously at home to Celtic on Wednesday. Well, I mean, you've always a better chance at home, but they're against Celtic, so I think they'll struggle. You know what? May as well actually just look at the fixtures then for this midweek. So, in terms of this here, right, well, they've no split it in the bottom 6, whatever. But anyway, right, so looking at this, right, Dundee, Ross County. Whoever, well, I say whoever, right? A draw suits both teams, But obviously Ross County don't want to finish 11th, they'd rather finish 10th, so they're going for the win. But a draw guarantees both of them safety, right? But at the same time, actually, no, a draw doesn't give a guarantee both of them safety. Well, a draw guarantees them both safety if Hearts win, is what I'm getting at. But St Johnstone away to Hearts, with Hearts' recent pick-up in form, I'm expecting St Johnstone to lose. Sorry for them. Then Motherwell against Kelly, just a bit of a dead game. What will I go for? I don't know. Rangers Dundee United. Dundee United need to win. Rangers just beat Aberdeen. Is that going to be some form of turnaround in the last two games? Doubtful, but I still expect Rangers to win. I mean, it's fucking Ibrox, so let's actually win some games, guys, consistently, not just one-offs. St Mirren against Hibs, again, that'll be a tasty one. Hibs, they've lost 2 at the last 3 after being on that run. And St Mirren, it seems like nothing's stopping that train. How funny would it be if St Mirren actually managed to nab 5th spot? It'd be crazy. And then the only game on telly, of course, is Aberdeen versus Celtic. So, and you'd expect Celtic to win, but as a wee preview of the Scottish Cup final. Anyway, guys, that's it for the review show. We'll be back with a preview show probably on Tuesday afternoon, something around that time. But until next time, peace.